Hello and welcome to Tobisonics. It is Tuesday, the 23rd of March, 2021. I hope you all had good weekends and the beginning of the week has been kind to you. In this week's episode, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be taking a look at how I use Loopcloud in my own productions. And to do that, we're going to set ourselves a little challenge. Can we put together a basic production from scratch using only Loopcloud? Let's find out. Control your creativity. Loopcloud gives you the tools to sound like you and no one else. Access millions of sounds from the world's most fully featured sample manager. That is how Loopmasters describes Loopcloud on its website. There are plenty of demos of Loopcloud on YouTube already, so instead of that, I'm going to show you how I like to use Loopcloud in my own productions. And to keep things interesting, we're going to set ourselves a little challenge. Can we put together the core elements needed for a production from scratch using only Loopcloud? Before we get into it, if you could just take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my channel, that would be a big help. Thank you for taking the time. The first thing we've got to do is we've got to decide what type of production we're making. I want to make something that's fast and funky. I want to make something that people can work out to. According to the interweb, CrossFit and indoor cycling uses a BPM of around 140 to 180 plus. So that's going to give us our window. Let's go and have a listen to the click track and see what that feels like. I've had a quick play around with the BPM and I'm liking the feel of 176. So I had to play around with a bunch of different bass lines using our BPM as a guide, and I found this. It's not what I was looking for, it wasn't what I was going for, but it is just too obnoxious to ignore. We're going to use this. I have no idea how it's going to work out. Let's see how we go. Next up, we needed to find a hi-hat. So I had a quick play around using the BPM as a guide, and in all honesty, I was expecting to find something fast and hustling to go with that bass line, to really kind of hustle the track along. Instead, I found something that was actually pretty slow, kind of just bursts of energy. What's more is I really liked it when it was pitched up one octave, and I really liked it when it's pitched down one octave. So I decided to use it both ways. Let's have a listen to what that sounds like as I blend it in, starting with just the bass line, then we'll bring in the low hi-hat, and then we'll bring in the high hi-hat. Next up, kick and snare. Once again, I had a quick play around, found a couple of different loops, found one I liked, and dropped it in on the track. Let's pick up from where we left off last time, and then we'll drop in the kick and snare so you guys can hear the difference. Next up, I thought it was about time we better put some synth in there, so I went looking for a synth lead, and everything that was coming up was kind of aggro-techish and a little bit atonal, which is cool, but it's not really that Tobisonic vibe. So I decided to limit us by genre, so I picked up synthwave, dropped that in the genre, and then had a look at what we could find, and came up with something. So let's go back to the original idea behind the challenge. Can we make a simple production from scratch using only Loopcloud? Well, not really, no. The thing about loops is that they flatter to deceive. Very quickly, you can come up with something that sounds professional, it sounds clean, it sounds pro, but in fact, you've kind of got nothing because it's just too generic. You're never going to get everything you need from a set of loops. In next week's episode, we're going to drop all the loops into Cubase, and we're going to see what we can do by adding some simple octave doubles up and down, a little bit of EQ processing, some panning, some mid-side processing, and a little bit of automation left to right on the panning. And what you can hear right now playing in the background is what we came up with. So until next week, thank you very much for watching. If you could take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel, that would be great. Thank you for taking the time. If you have any questions about today's production, feel free to ask in the comments, or you can find me on social media at Tobisonics. And please take a moment to check out my latest release, Eye of the Storm. It's out on all streaming platforms and Bandcamp. Until next Tuesday, good night and good noise, stay safe and stay healthy.